What's up, guys? I wanted to go ahead and do another player card for you guys today. This time it will be Kenny from South Park blown to shit. So let me go ahead and go back through here, the emblem editor. Please remember that you may have to actually pause the video, and I'm not really going to go into the color picker this time, because I mean, if you're skilled enough to actually follow me, then you'll know what colors you should use. I'll tell you the colors, and whatever matches your style, pick that out. But I will show you all of the layers that were used and where to place them. You will have to adjust around with the skew and the size of the layer that you actually pick, so please keep that in mind. Let's start here with the first layer. I picked under tools the half mustache, and that's the arm bone sticking out of Kenny's arm, and that was white. On layer 2, another mustache flipped, arm bone white, and I'm going to flip through these a few times for you in case you need to pause. Layer 3, I use the second lieutenant, and I've tried to keep these simple because I know everybody doesn't have everything unlocked yet. Some people do, some people don't, but you can see where the second lieutenant was stretched and resized. Moving to layer 4, I use the half long hair, and that is for his sleeves, and I flipped and rotated and skewed those. Layer 6, of course, is a under tools under full circle, and that was his head. Layer 7 was a full circle, and on that one I just outlined it to give it some detail. You just see how I outlined the outside circle. Layer 8 was the circle number 2, and that is an outline. It was a contour just to go around the inside facial structure of the hoodie. And like I said, you may have to pause. Layer 9 was a circle, and the circle just pretty much went behind the eyes to give him some skin coloration. Layer 10, I used oven mitt, and that was for the eyes. I used it on both eyes. I've stretched, skewed, and rotated around. Both of those are oven mitt, and that's 10 and 11. Layer 12, you have the eyeball, and that is a circle that I just re-skewed down 2 sides. And the layer 13 is a windsock, and I used that for the bruising of his eyeball, and that is a purplish bruising color. You'll have to go in and tweak it to get it the shade that you prefer. And I'm just flipping through here so you can see where the placement was. Layer 14 was the windsock, and that time I outlined it just to outline and give it some definition. The eyelid. Layer 15, basically it's the circle number 2 that I've skewed around and stretched and rotated it to give it the oval type shape to contour the face. And I just did another on 16. I did a circle 2 just to give it a little fullness with the outline of the hoodie around the eyes. I wanted it to be a little thicker. Layer 17 is the eyeball on the right side, and again that's a circle. It's black, pretty simple. Resize it. Layer 18 is his 2 tassels, And on those, I used the second lieutenant for both of those. I skewed them around and attached them to his beanie, and you can play around with whichever way you want these to sit. Layer 20, I use Merciless, which is under Emblems. I used, and again, this is another where you can sketch and skew around with 20 and 21. The coloration that I used, I believe it was a brownish hue, brownish, kind of a tangious hue. Play around with the colors you want. Okay, number 22 is a blood color that I got from the top of his head, and that was an oven mitt that I just resized. And you might need to pause this. Okay, again, 23 for brain matter, I did an oven mitt again to kind of give it a rounded shape at the top. This can be moved around, I mean, it doesn't really matter. And you can see I set the opacity to 90%, which it don't matter if it's 90 or 100, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna make it simple for you guys. I'll just change it all to 100 right now. Okay, now on 24, I used the windsock. I skewed it around, stretched it, maneuvered it into place where I wanted it, and I'm going to flip between the two so you can kind of see. Layer 25, these are all Merciless, and I just basically used a gray, and this is facial markings from dirt and scratches. You'll have to play around with those. That's for 25, 26. You can barely see them bleeping because they're actually pretty small. And 27, 28, 29, and 30. They're all the same. They're all the Merciless gray with just facial dirt markings. Now on your layer 30, I used the second lieutenant, which I gave him his zipper on his jacket, and you can kind of see where that went. It's pretty simple. And on layer 32, I basically used the scribble. I skewed it around to give him some kind of marking on his shirt to emphasize some wear there. Alright guys, and if you successfully complete this, then you'll have a dead Kenny. So there you go. If you guys haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate any subscriptions. And once more, thanks for tuning in.